Hello and welcome to the More Cheese Less Whiskers podcast. My name is Dean Jackson, and today I'm talking with Bill Bloom. And Bill is a financial advisor who also happens to be a yachter. And he's written a book called The Yachter's Guide to Early Retirement. And very exciting, but he's figured out now a way to get people to raise their hand. He's got the perfect Profit Activator to asset, something that gets people to raise their hand. So we picked up the conversation with, now that he's done that, into Profit Activator 3, how can we really maximize the relationship with those people who have raised their hand? We need to connect with them. We need to find out who are the 5-star prospects. We need to figure out what is the best way that we can help these people, and how can we articulate the offers that we'll use in Profit Activator 4 to deliver them to the During unit in Profit Activator 5, where we can create a dream come true experience. So we spent the whole hour talking about this one conversion process, this Profit Activator 4. So I think this is going to be a nice deep dive for you on converting leads, if that's the situation that you're in. And I think you're really going to enjoy it. So enjoy this episode.
Bill Bloom,
Good morning.
how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, Dean?
I am fantastic. This has become my favorite of days. I've got a couple of podcasts scheduled for today, and I just get to hatch evil schemes and have nice conversations. So it's always a good day.
That's a beautiful thing.
There we go. So we're recording right now. We've got the whole hour to hatch some evil schemes, and I'm really looking forward to it. So tell me what we've got going on.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been an honor and a pleasure. I know that being a strategic coach a couple of days ago and talking about you with some of the people there, and Dan was actually there that morning. They're like,
Ooh.
Oh my gosh, Dean is the man. He knows so much. He's done so much for the industry, just for marketing in general. So it's been amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, thank you. So, tell me about your situation. What kind of what's the business that you're in, and what are we working on here?
Absolutely. So what we do at Bloom Financial is we help clients with their retirement income streams.
Mm-hmm.
Our goal is to make sure people never run out of money. I think that's pretty important.
That's nice. Yeah.
Yes. So from a marketing perspective, I've put together 2 books, and one of them was with the 90-Minute Book Company.
Nice.
Which I think you're pretty familiar with.
I'm pretty familiar. Yeah.
And that has been fantastic because I do a lot of sailing. That's been one of my passions.
Yeah.
And the book's, the guide's name is The Yachter's Guide to Early Retirement. So I've been using that to my prospects and the people who I work with. And a lot of them are sailors or boaters or power boaters. And it's been a huge hit, an absolute huge hit.
I love it. It's funny. Byron is a guy in my strategic coach group in Toronto who I was just with him. We just did a book with him called the Geoscientist's Guide to Early Retirement. I think there's really something to it. I mean, we've had different people do, different niches like that. We had a gentleman do a cosmetic surgeons, right? The cosmetic surgeon's guide to early retirement. There's something about the horoscope effect that it just takes, it really like locks in when you hear something that is you just automatically, you pay more attention, even if they're seemingly incongruent or don't seem like it's directly related. Like the Yachter's Guide to early retirement. It doesn't seem like the two would be connected, but they're certainly connected in spirit, So how do you connect those dots, and how has that been? How'd you come to that conclusion?
So I was sitting in an airport. I had probably maybe 7 or 8 hours before my flight. It was in Nashville. And I had just come back from Strategic Coach, and I had two of the I had the little guides about the book. So I read them, and I just started outlining a process for it. I was like, who do I want to work with? The people who I love sailing and boating with, and then how could I reach them? So I just outlined the process. It took the time at the airport of all places, make use of your time, and basically put the concept of the book together. Then I picked up the phone the next week, and the rest is basically history. And I've been able to use that as a nice little marketing tool. And I also have that as one of the go-go clients or the go-go agents so that people could just go online and download it for free. Yeah. And that way they're getting that content as well. And I'm trying to figure out new strategies to market that book. And I've also created a second shorter guide from the Yachter's Guide to Early Retirement. It's called Retire as You Desire.
I like that one too.
Yeah, I am working on getting that trademarked right now as well. And so that's a second shorter guide. That's like about an 8 to 10 pager that outlines the specific process to help you retire as you desire, which is everyone's goal.
That's so great. And so you look at that as that might be a next step for people, right? So you get that you're planting that seed of the Yachter's Guide to Early Retirement, and then the next step, this Retire as You Desire, seems like the perfect sort of worksheet to help people start the process of building their plan.
Absolutely. And that's the whole point, because, being in the industry for over 8 years now, I came into the industry in 2008, right when all the craziness was going on. And it turned out to be a perfect time to help people. And Bloom Financial is here to help a lot of different types of clients, but at the end of the day, you want to like who you're working with, and they want to like you as well. So they have to enjoy the message that you're sending, and it has to be congruent.
Yes, I love it. So what's happened so far with the book? If we're overlaying now the Profit Activators of where this fits, that you've got a Profit Activator 2 tool now that can get people to raise their hand. And you mentioned that you're using go-go clients, and you've got your landing page all set up for the book. I'm assuming that's the one we set up for you with your 90-minute book, the simple book landing page. Okay. And have you been connecting the dots yet? Now it's about you're there ready for them to, that's the tool that we've got. Have you been able to get that out in front of people and have people ask for the book yet?
Actually, yes. I've done some Facebook advertising.
Okay.
We have a great system at our back office that helps us with our marketing, and our marketing team is fantastic in getting everything approved. Everything is done so quickly. Yeah. And so I just set a small budget just to kind of test the waters, because I want to use a couple different
thing you should always do. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to do a couple of different streams of marketing with this, especially with the newer guide, because you're able to reach a broader market rather than just sailors. So with the Retire as You Desire, I put out a Facebook ad, and it had about 20,000 different views. It was a 2.5% conversion ratio for people going to the landing page to actually downloading the book. And actually, the past 3 days, I've been getting a lot more people downloading the book. So I think they're seeing it more often. Because I kept it as a very tight group right now. I'm not trying to broadcast to all of America. It's too big of a net right now. I narrowed it down. So there's been a lot more hits and a lot more downloads just in the past 3 days.
Perfect. And so how many people have downloaded the book so far?
There's about 35 people last time I checked.
Okay, perfect. So now you've got something that most people long for. You've got something that you can operate as a vending machine now, right? You've spent, how much has it cost you per person who's downloaded the book? Have you done the metrics on that to see what your cost per download is?
It's like $20.
Okay, perfect. So
just simple math because my budget was $600.
Okay. So there we go. So you got $20, and what you have now is the perfect little Profit Activator 2 vending machine. Okay. Now, regardless, the metrics, the math, we can work on. You know, the fact that you can, you're getting them for $20 right now. There may be ways to get that down and to get that for less, but the thing that you have is that you've got a way to put money in the top and get leads out the bottom, which is so, that's the starting point. That's the launch pad.
Sure.
We can figure out the math afterwards, the money part of it. What's more important is that we get the market of it right, that you've got an offer that you're matching with the message that you're sending. So when people download this book right now, the guide, you've got 35 people who have raised their hand and are now in Profit Activator 3, which is about educating and motivating those people.
Yes.
Now, this is where the conversion part of this comes in, right? And we want to talk about it as a conversational type of thing. So, first of all, congratulations, because that you've got something that's really working, and so
thank you.
You want to enjoy that right now. Now, what happens when somebody leaves their name and their email address? What's the first 24, 48 hours like for that person?
This is where I need to build out the tools a little bit more. And with the go-go clients, this is actually on my schedule to do this afternoon. You're able to do that, and you're able to send out the additional emails. You can do the follow-ups. But
we can do that whole thing.
Yeah, which is amazing because then you have the automated system working for you. But what I have done is sent out a thank you, obviously, for taking the time to download that. And then there's a call to action inside of that to call the office if you like what you read, or send us a note. So we're very inviting. And plus, on my website now that I've just added, there's a scheduling tool where my client or a prospective client can go straight to the website and book a meeting. So that way it's very intuitive. If someone wants to speak with us, they're able to.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So what would be what does that email say? The initial email. So I download I leave my name and email address, and then you've set up with GoGo clients that immediately I get an email that will that downloads with a download link. Is that how it works?
Correct. And With your experience, what's some of the best ways to help with that conversion when they go to the landing page? What have you seen?
I'm glad you asked. You're in the right place.
Exactly.
You are in the right place. So here's how we want to think about it. But before we get into that, let me just set the stage here of what we're actually working with right now. How long has it been since that first lead came in? Like how long ago was that? Are we talking about
3 weeks ago?
3 weeks ago. So you started running the ads then, and that's been sort of steady over the 3 weeks, or did you turn it on for a couple of days, then turn it off, and now it's back on? How has it been?
It's been steady. It's
Okay.
just been continuously running. So I set a 3-week time frame to where it's really
basically
spending...
one a day. Basically one a day for the last little while. Okay. And now, has anybody in that 3 weeks so far gone on to engage or take another step forward?
At this point, no.
Okay. And so that's what we're looking for now, right? Is now we want to go and see, we're building this bridge from Profit Activator 3, which is you've got a visible prospect now. The goal of Profit Activator 3 is to educate and motivate them. And then we want to deliver ready-to-go prospects, people who want some help, into your During unit, okay, Profit Activator 5. And the bridge to that is offers that we'll make in Profit Activator 4. So this is where it's like you're looking at the transition now. Somebody could hang out in Profit Activator 3 for years before they take that next step. And what you're building is an asset here, right? You're building an asset of people who have raised their hand because a message resonated with them that they want to retire as they desire, right? Now we want to continue to educate and motivate and to communicate with those people until they're ready, right? Patiently and systematically until it's the right time. Now,
exactly.
Here's what where people often make a mistake about their approach to this lead conversion. First of all, they think that there's something they can do to convert these leads. There's always this language that I'm gonna convert these leads into clients, that I'm gonna kind of wrestle them down somehow. That it's something that you're doing that's gonna make this happen. And the reality is that what we're really looking to do is take the approach that we're trying to find who are the 5-star prospects, right? And so I talk about 5-star prospects, and I want to define it for us here, that a 5-star prospect is somebody who meets these 5 criteria. Number 1, they're willing to engage in a dialogue. Number 2, they're friendly and cooperative when we talk with them or when we email, dialoguing with them. They're friendly and cooperative. Number 3 is that they know what they want. And number 4 is that they know when they want it. And number 5 is that they'd like us to help them. So all 5 of those things have to be true in order for you to be working with an ideal client, right? So if we start with that as the baseline here, that's what we're looking for. Is if you think about any of the clients that you're working with right now, they're all 5-star prospects, right? They're all people who they were willing to engage. They're friendly and cooperative. They knew what they wanted. They know when they wanted, and they'd like you to help them.
And they all become like family.
Exactly, because your During unit is all about delivering a world-class dream come true experience for people, right? You're focused on that. So when you look at this now, the goal is not to turn people into 5-star prospects. It's to discover who are the 5-star prospects. And so that is a different sort of approach here. If we look at it, that it's not so much that you're going to convince people to do anything, right? They're going to convince themselves to do something. You're going to present them with the information that they're going to use to build their case, right? To convince themselves. But nobody's going to do anything until they're convinced that it's the right thing to do. And so we look at it now that we patiently take this approach of identifying who are the 5-star prospects. So we want to know, rather than starting at the beginning or starting at the end and starting to make prescriptions for people, just saying you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. Rather than starting with the prescription, start with the very first thing, which is that are they willing to engage in a dialogue? We want to kind of disarm people first, right? If they've got to get through all of those, they've got to be willing to engage in a dialogue, and they've got to be friendly and cooperative. I mean, they left their name and email address, which, that's sort of a starting process of being willing to engage in a dialogue. They left that voluntarily for you. Now, are they friendly and cooperative means that when you email them back, will they email you back? Will they have a conversation with you? That's all that we really want to focus on initially, is just to see, are they willing to engage? So tell me about this email that you send initially to people.
Well, I'm glad you asked that, because I obviously need to work on this a little bit.
Okay.
Because,
can you? Are you on your computer right now?
Yeah, I pulled it up because I wanted to give you the exact information,
Sure.
Dean.
Why don't you email it to me too, so I can look at it while we're talking here?
Absolutely, no problem. So
yeah,
let me send this over to you. So basically,
and that way we can kind of look through the whole thing here.
Yeah. So when someone goes to the page, it just says, "Thank you. You will receive your complimentary guide shortly." And it says, "Visit my website at bloomfinancialco.com." And it has all my contact information there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to forward you. I'm going to put my name in there and see everything that pulls up. And then I'll be able to just forward you the email.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, this is, part of what we're looking for is to really now imagine this scenario,
Absolutely, and see it from their perspective.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly it. So we want to kind of go through that.
Absolutely. So, and I'm still getting used to the system here. It's so intuitive. I didn't realize how much stuff was in here to use. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It really, and down at the bottom of the page, or even on the dashboard there's a whole library of video tutorials of all the things that you can do with GoGo Clients.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. And then, yes, here's the email. It says, "Thank you so much for downloading my ebook. I hope that it finds
Did you forward it to me too?
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Okay, yeah, forward it to me and I can read it while we read along. This because every little element of this, it's good to kind of imagine it, to take that perspective. Okay, retire as you desire. Here we go. Okay. Then, so this is the way that it goes. So did it put their email address? This is the email address that I see there, the gmail.com. Thank
Correct.
you so much
That
for
one.
downloading my ebook. So your personalization is using their email as rather than their name.
It is their name. I just put my email in there twice.
Gotcha. Okay. Right. All right. So that's good. There we go. Thank you so much for downloading my ebook. I hope that it finds you well and that you're able to apply the principles of this book to your future retirement. Please give my office a call today to help with your retirement income planning needs. Bill Bloom. Okay, and you got your phone number in there and your signature. Okay, so let's talk about this. The thing that we want to imagine now is that a really great mindset to get into, or a great mind exercise for this, is to imagine that your opt-in box is a portal to your office, okay? And that you're sitting in your office, and then whenever somebody fills in their name and their email address and presses submit or send my book, they magically get transported right into your conference room or right into your office or wherever you are. And they're sitting right there. And, it's an interesting thing to imagine that, but saying, what would you say to somebody if they appeared right there in front of you? Right? What would you say in that situation? What would you say to somebody like that? So you can imagine that they've been attracted to this message of retire as you desire, and then how would you engage with those people?
Oh, that's a very good point. I want them to know that it's all about them. It's all about the client. And when they do come to us for help, it's all about them. And that's the message that is always relayed in meetings. And the first question that I will always ask a client is, what's most important to you? And stop talking, because at the end of the day, I'm able to create a customized plan for them, for their needs, whether they're a boater or they have a second home or a sports car that they love, or some of my clients, they just love knitting. That's what they do with their free time, and that's what they spend their money on. So, it's how it is.
No, but there's the thing, like, so when you imagine this, there's something that you want to imagine is that first email that you get, this first opportunity here, is your chance to really kind of set the stage for people in a way, right? Like you can, give the next steps of what to do next, and just kind of ease people's minds. There's a really interesting example that I talk about of a furniture store called Jennifer Leathers. And they are a furniture store, and all they sell is leather sofas. And they've got a sister store called Jennifer Convertibles, and all they sell are sofa beds. But when you walk into a Jennifer Leathers, they don't take the general retail approach of, can I help you? No thanks, I'm just looking, right? It's not that dance. What they do is they take a different approach. And my friend Eben Bacon and I went into 2 stores in the same day just to test this out, to see how they do it. And you walk in and they say, welcome, have you been to Jennifer Leathers before? And just right away, that question, no matter what you say, so you say no, and they say, well, let me tell you how it works. We all of the sofas that you see are available in any of the leathers on the back wall. They're all in stock and available for immediate delivery, and they're all guaranteed for life. My name's Dean. I'll be right over here. If you have any questions, take a look around. That's the first engagement with somebody who comes into Jennifer Leathers, right? Because they know that if I just say to you, can I help you? And you say, no, thanks, I'm just looking. What you're not saying is, no, thanks, I'm just looking for a red leather love seat. Because that's really what you're looking for. And you think, I'm just going to scan, and if I don't see a red leather love seat, I'm just going to leave because I don't want to be convinced to buy something else, or I don't have time for this. I got to stop by a bunch of stores today, right? So I'm going to quickly get in, scan around. If I don't see any red leather sofas, love seats, I'm going to leave. But what they've done with that interaction is they've overcome the three biggest reasons that somebody might not buy a sofa today, right? They might think, they might not see a red leather love seat. And if they knew that they could get any of the love seats in any of the leathers on the back wall, they'd know that all they need to look for is the shape and the style that they like, knowing that they can get it in red, and also knowing that it's not going to be a special delivery because they're all in stock and available for immediate delivery.
Which is amazing.
They can get the finest leather, even if they have kids and dogs, knowing that it's all guaranteed for life, you know? So now it frames the way that people are looking at the sofas. They can relax and just look and find the sofa that they want, not, knowing that there's not a salesperson who's going to try and, push the blue sofa because they're getting overstocked on the blue, right? We got to get rid of these blues. That's not it. They're just saying, find what you want. So that is a very important moment. If you can set the stage for what it is that's going to happen and how you can help people. And now that alone, so in that situation, I'll kind of let that land a little bit, and then the kind of pairing to that is to really think like a chess master here and start to think, what is the next couple of moves here with this in the evolution of this relationship with this client? Where are we heading with this? What's likely to be true about this person, and what would be the thing that they would really like? And the more that you can anticipate what somebody's need is or what their desire is, the more that you'll be able to package a solution or suggest a solution for them that's going to put you in a leadership role, not in a passive role, like just saying to people, please give my office a call today to help with your retirement income planning needs is very vague, not a leadership. It's saying you put us into action, Correct. It's not making an offer. We're expecting people to take the initiative. And nobody likes to take initiative, right? It's like you'd rather somebody call you up and ask you for some way, for some help, because we're completely wired to want to help people. That's what we're really hoping for, And so I always use that as an example. If I were to bring you into my house and sit you in my living room and say, hey, Bill, I'm really glad you're here. If there's anything you want to eat or drink, there's lots of stuff in the fridge. Please feel free. Go ahead and help yourself. Now, it would be very difficult for you to do that, wouldn't it? If we've never met. It's your first time in my house, and we would never feel comfortable imposing on people,
Of course.
And so if I did that, though, and I sat you in the living room and I went into the kitchen and I came out with a plate of freshly baked cookies, and I came right up to you and I said, Bill, would you like a cookie? It would be very difficult for you not to take the cookie.
I would always say yes to that.
Of course, even if you don't like cookies, right? I mean, it's still the same thing. Even if it wasn't your favorite kind, you would take it because you don't want me to feel bad that I went out of my way for you. I made these cookies for you, right? And that's really why we go to such great lengths to deflect these situations from us. That's why we're so resistant when we walk into a retail store to just say, no thanks, I'm just looking, because we don't want to feel indebted to the person, right? Because we know we're helpless against it. Kind of an interesting societal kind of benchmark, that you look at it in those kind of situations and you see immediately how it applies. But then, taking this approach to it, what would be the thing that the person who has been compelled to download your guide to retire as you desire, what would be the next step for that? What would be the thing that you could anticipate that they would want?
Absolutely. I think it comes down to what their needs are, and let them know that their wants and their requirements, as far as income goes, will be listened to. Because when you structure the plan around what their requirements are, whether that's X amount of dollars a month or a year, that would change to the next client. So I really think that if we could relay the message saying, you're going to be listened to, what we do is listen to you, the client, for what your income requirements are, I think that would be very powerful.
I mean, when you run out of this, when you look at this, how to never run out of money is such a great set of words, right? How to never run out of money. Is that, are those compliance approved words?
That is part of the guide. So because there's products out there that can help with that, it all depends on the client, and there's no cookie cutter approach. Right. Everything is customized because you could be working with a client who has $5 million, and they may have a high likelihood that they don't run out of money because they don't have a lot of expenses every year.
Right.
Whereas
exactly.
You know what I mean? Or if you have the client who has $500,000, we're having a different conversation. But we're able to help both sets of clients. And that's the beautiful thing about my practice, is that $5 million or the $500,000 client is still going to be listened to, and the plan for their income strategies is going to be created around their needs.
Their income strategies. Yeah, that's funny. I had an advisor friend tell me a story about a client that made millions of dollars a year, but was spending more than they were making. And they had to have a conversation about it. They were saying, you're going to have to, this is the reality. You're making $8 million a year, but you're spending $9 million a year, and something's got to give here, And the client at the end of the conversation was sort of saying, well, is there any other way? And the advisor said, well, I mean, sure, make $10 million a year. And the guy just got this bright, just beam of satisfaction on his face, and why didn't I think of that? And he just said, done. And he just left there flying, just floating on air, that all he had to do was just make another $1 million. He didn't have to cut back on anything. Just make more money. It's like brilliant.
It's a
Why
beautiful
didn't I think of that? Yeah. So when you look at this, that how to never run out of money, I really like those words. And if we were to take that thing, wouldn't it be neat if there was, because we all love calculators, and we all love things that you can plug in and run scenarios and do, all of those kind of things. I wonder if it would be an interesting thing to think about how to tell when you'll run out of money, kind of thing, right? Or how long will your money last, or how much will you need? What would be an interesting sort of compliance-friendly way of doing that kind of a calculation for people, or running? What kind of thing do you do for people to start that process?
Yeah, and I think our minds are syncing right now, because I was just thinking the same exact thing. I think that would be very inviting for a prospective client to get the book, and then a couple of days later, one of the emails, ask them, have you had your income stress tested, or have you had your income, your retirement income plan stress tested, or to see, do you know how long your money will last for? And I am able to help clients do a retirement income plan review. And then the plan itself shows if they are getting X amount of return, if they have X amount of assets, and how much they're contributing each year, and how much income they want, because that's the main goal. And it will show them if their money will last or not. So that can be done.
And so what would be, that you think that's something that your clients would love to have, if they could see a report that showed how that plays out, or plays out the different scenarios, kind of thing?
Absolutely. I think anyone would want to know that, because it's very powerful to say, at age 75, there might be a high probability of you not having money anymore. Or if you are at age 80, you think you're going to live that long. And what are some of the things that you could do to prevent that, or to use different products to help you with your income planning? So I think that can be very powerful.
And so I think that's kind of a cool situation then, that would be one thing. What else do people want to know about? What else do they, what else would kind of raise their attention here? What other kinds of things, even in your experience in talking with people, what would be another thing that they would want to know? I just want to kind of quickly get to 2 or 3 of these,
Absolutely. A couple other ones is protection. Protection is a very powerful word, because illness, as we get older, obviously our bodies are not working in the same manner. I didn't create this, so I can't take credit for it, but there was a gentleman who came up with, in retirement, you have 3 different phases. You have your go-go years. That's when you're traveling, you're going to go see the grandkids, you're going to take that cruise that you've always wanted to do. And then the next part is the slow-go years. You're not getting around as much. Isn't that great? I didn't create this, so I can't take credit for it, but I love expressing this because it's so true. In those slow-go years, you're not spending as much money, you're not traveling as much. Your kids or grandkids are usually coming to see you because you can't get around as well. And then you have your no-go years where you're really not doing too much. You're, at home. You might go into an assisted nursing facility at that time. And I think the second thing that people are looking for is protection for their estate and for their monies, and make sure that if they do need some form of care, that they're taken care of. And that's, I think, from an advisor standpoint, that's one of the things that people miss the most. They forget to plan for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was, we did I did a book with a financial advisor called How Much is Enough? And that was the question that people always have. That's the question that people want to know. But then we did a postcard that was 3 avoidable mistakes that derail even the most cautious retirement plan. And that was one of those is these not factoring in the wild cards here, of not protecting the downside.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So I think that's great, the protection. And then the longevity, the how long it will last.
Yeah.
And when you're typically the people that you're working with, are they what age group are they right now? Are they pre-retirement, or are they ramping up to retirement, or just starting retirement?
90% of my clients are about 57 through 70.
Okay.
That's the biggest part of my book of business. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And that's when they start kind of thinking about it, is late 50s?
Absolutely, because that's when they're starting to think about their Social Security planning. They're starting to think about, okay, things are coming quickly. The next 5 to 8 years will happen in a flash.
That
so that's
was the
really
question
when
that was where we came up with that question of how much is enough, because that's really, I have friends that are in that age range, the guys that at my country club, or people that are on the cusp. They're about to retire. They could retire at any time. They're counting their money and counting it again and doing calculations. And then there's always I just need another, I just need the next level, no matter what it is, right? It's always, if it's 5 million, they need 7. And if it's 7, they need 10, or, what I mean? It's always just I just need a little bit more to feel safe with this, And so,
of course.
So your approach is kind of to start with the number and work backwards, I guess, right? Like starting with what's their income need for the thing. Because you think about it, that's really it feels like in retirement, if people could take a guaranteed amount of income, even though it would be less than, they would trade their assets and stuff to have a guaranteed income to last as long as they do, right?
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's interesting. Here's a perfect example. I was just working with a client the other day, and they make about $200,000 a year.
Mm-hmm.
Good money. Then they said to me, I think when we retire, we'll be able to live off of $90,000 a year, no problem.
Uh-oh.
And they're used to living on more than double that.
Yeah.
So that's a red flag immediately. I said to them, do you realize that you guys are going to cut your income in half? Is that really what you want? Do you want to plan for having more than that? And then that really got them to start thinking. They're like, oh, wait, I think you're right. I think we should plan for at least $125,000 or $150,000 a year, because I don't know if $90,000 would be enough, because once we start going through their expenses and they have 3 houses, I'm like, look, what are your property tax bills for all 3 houses? So just little things like that, you have to have a target to shoot for. Mm-hmm. And then that way you're able to plan accordingly to get them to that income level.
Mm-hmm. So that might be is there some words so the stress tested thing, but is the income. It'd be an interesting thing to have an approach to calculating how much they'll actually spend in retirement and figuring out how much asset that will require. Like everybody's kind of, got some baseline things. I mean, they'll have their Social Security income. They'll have maybe a pension or not, and then they've got whatever assets they have that are going to make up that difference. But it becomes that then math game, right, of figuring out
exactly
the difference and what they'll be able to, how much it'll actually cost, or how much assets you'll need to support that income, rather than looking at it backwards from how can you maximize the income from your assets. Is that a fundamentally different approach?
At the end of the day, whether you're doing it from you need $300,000 of income a year, or if you look at it and say, you guys have saved $3 million a year, here's what I think we can project.
Mm-hmm.
There always needs to be some form of comfort level. And for that $3 million client, there's a lot of different ways to help them achieve their income goals. It comes down to how much they've saved, how much people are willing to save, and really what their comfort level is with the markets. If they love the markets, if they don't love that, we could do a combination of things to protect their money or also grow their money. So really, Dean, it comes down to that person. It's all specifically for that person. I wish there was one way to do everything because it would make life a lot easier, but there's just not.
Yeah. No, exactly. And so I think that having that kind of discovery process for people, one of the things that when you look at it, if you were to imagine your sort of Jennifer Leathers message to these people who, the moment they download the book, the guide to, have these next steps. I use something that we call super signature, that I always have offers that we can, that let people know what to do when they're ready to take the next step. So I always end every email with, whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways I can help you hatch some evil schemes for your business, or whatever whatever it is. And that's part of it is the part of it is being able to be in that leadership kind of role for people, like just letting them know what to actually do. So my super signature, if I just look at, I'll just go, because I sent out an email today and I just said, so it ends, plus whenever you're ready, here are 4 ways I can help you hatch some evil schemes for your business. Number 1, be a guest on More Cheese Less Whiskers. 2, try the new Profit Activator scorecard. 3, join our Email Mastery Academy and be a case study. Or 4, work with me one-on-one. So I just have little descriptions of what those things are. And every time that I send an email like that, then somebody picks every one of these things, that something is just the right time for people, So I would look to say to your people who download the book, here's the copy of the Retire As You Desire worksheet, and it's going to show you this, and this. Click here to download it. And then whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways that I can help you retire as you desire. And one could be do a what would you call that stress test? Put your portfolio to the stress test, or we can run a stress test on your retirement portfolio and show how long your money will last under different scenarios. That could be one. And I'm just getting the rough words out there, right? Like this would require a lot of wordsmithing to get the right words. But
yes,
that's the essence of it, right? They were saying, whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways I can help you retire as you desire. 1, do a stress test. Number 2, we can do a income analysis, or whatever. What would be the how that might work out? What did you call the ability to calculate someone's income?
Yeah, I actually, in the book, there's 7 steps in here. So it's a process. This is a process-driven strategy. And it's called the navigation process. I took that from the Yachter's Guide to Early Retirement.
Yeah.
So it's the investment portfolio analysis.
Yep.
So it's exactly what we're talking about here, to show them how long their money could last for.
There you go. That's perfect. So having that as an option, and then I think your Retire as You Desire is such a great title that could be the kind of thing that you could say you could do a workshop around that, right? Join us for a Retire as You Desire workshop.
Oh, that's good. That's brilliant.
Right. Where you can walk through those things,
I love that.
So now you've got that. You've got 3 good options there. You can do run scenarios on your current one, go through a process to calculate your income goals or requirements, or what it really costs to retire, or join us for a Retire as You Desire workshop. And saying those things, that's similar when we're doing on the real estate side, when we're generating buyer leads. We're doing, we offer a guide to Winter Haven real estate prices and house prices for people moving to Winter Haven. And so we say that same thing. Hey, welcome aboard. Here's the guide. It's going to show you all the different house prices of what you get for your money in Winter Haven. And then whenever you're ready, here are 3 ways we can help you. Number 1, you can join us for a daily tour of homes. We do tours here in Winter Haven every day at 10 a.m. and 1 p.m. You can, see several homes in one session. Number 2, join us for a home buyer workshop. We do home buyer workshops at the library, on the first and third Thursdays of the month, or the first Thursday or the third Thursday, or whatever you want to do it. And number 3 is get a free home loan report. We monitor hundreds of different loan programs all around the country to find the best zero down loans, low interest loans, low payment loans. We put all our findings together in a custom home loan report. Those 3 things, right? We always want to look at having the next step for people,
Absolutely. I'm just taking some notes right now. This is phenomenal, because even with the Winter Haven home, if you wanted to move to a place, or Miami or Fort Lauderdale or whichever city you're looking at, you could do the same thing or replicate that. And it's just a great idea to show people that, yes, you can take the next steps, or yes, you can learn more about this, and yes, you can be helped, because at the end of the day, you want to help the person in your industry.
Right. Yeah, and that's really, so that's where the great news is you're at a situation where you've got a mechanism now that can put you in conversation with people who are who are attracted to that message, either as as yachters who want to retire or as people who want to retire as you desire.
Exactly.
That now it's about your 100% focus is bridging this gap between getting those leads and getting those people to be clients, that you're able to help them. Because I know that in your during unit, you're 100% capable and ready to help people, right? So it's just now bridging that gap from Profit Activator 3 into Profit Activator 5,
Absolutely.
And that's going to be about email. That's really what the next step would be for you.
Absolutely love that.
Mm-hmm. So what's your recap? What have we kind of come across here?
Well, Dean, my recap is this. Building out the back end of things is, I think, really the most important part, because once you get that person to engage and give you their information,
yes,
they've already taken the first step. And then secondly, if we're able to give them a clear and concise message, which is something that I need to work on, but we can do that, and let people know that, yes, there are solutions for you, and yes, your objectives, or if you want to retire as you desire, that can be met. Or if you want to keep your yachting lifestyle in your retirement years, those things can happen too, and it's just planning accordingly. And I know how to do that for people.
Mm-hmm. So this is great. You're right in the situation now where you've done the right things in that you've generated leads. You've got a baseline to draw from there, and you're not going to prove anything. It's not going to make the boat go faster by throwing more money into generating more leads right now until you really solidify this process of converting those leads. So it's not going to improve it in volume, right? We've got to thread the rest of it here. We've really got to focus all of your attention on how can we engage with those people the moment, because never liked you more than the moment they download your Retire as You Desire guide, or download your book. That's the peak of your relationship so far. And now we don't want to just leave it on, please call our office for some help with your retirement planning. That's like saying, there's lots of stuff in the fridge, go ahead and help yourself.
So true.
Right. We want to be very, very clear, and we want to engage with, even though there's a group of them, we want to engage with those people as individuals, That's that's what you want to do, is imagine that we spent this entire call sort of talking about that one thing of the initial message. But the next level of that is now engaging with those people on a one-to-one basis, so asking them a question that's going to engage in a dialogue. So when people immediately put in their name and their email, we're going to send them that initial message that says whatever, all the things that we just discussed, plus makes those whenever you're ready offers for them. And then the next morning, we want to greet those people with a short, personal, expecting a reply email that will engage them in a dialogue. So for example, on the real estate side, if somebody downloaded our guide to Winter Haven, then what we would send the next morning is a message that says, hey, Bill, welcome aboard. Are you an investor or are you looking for a house to live in? Right? Just engage in a conversation with them, right? And that's where you might send a message to somebody and say, are you retired, or are you gearing up for retirement? Or are you, whatever, something that would be easy for people to respond, just an easy way for people to respond. And if the great thing about the Yachter's Guide to Retirement is that you could literally say to somebody, welcome aboard. What kind of yacht do you have? Right?
Oh, that's so good.
Right? Because all you want to do is engage with people as people first, right? We just want to see that they're engaged in a dialogue. And if you have a picture of you on your yacht, then that's that's kind of a nice thing because you're engaging with people as people first,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
You're
I think
a very
that
smart man, my friend.
I've been doing this a while, but that's the kind of thing, right? Is if you're thinking about just now, every single person gets that individual attention that you're now speaking to one person at a time, and you just want to find out, are they willing to engage in the dialogue, and are they friendly and cooperative? And then you're just going to spend all of the dialogue, all the back and forth is going to be focused initially on, do they know what they want? And they may not know what they want. And so your dialogue is going to be helping them discover what it is that they want and making sure that that's in alignment with what you can actually help them get. And only then deciding whether now's the right time for that, and then making an offer to help them, So it's all this skillful sort of, I think if you just take these 30 people and you start to think about, how can I engage individually with these 30 people and find out who are the 5-star prospects, That's
yes,
really
absolutely.
where that thing is. So this is great. This is where all the asset is in this lead conversion process here, going from Profit Activator 3 to Profit Activator 5.
Yeah, and taking those steps and really walking the prospects through the different areas that you can really help them with. So yeah,
that's exactly right. Yeah. So that's exciting. I've enjoyed this. Time went fast here.
I know. I can't believe it's been over an hour already. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate everything. I really do.
I think this is awesome. This would be a really great email mastery case study. I'm starting a new email mastery case study group next week, so I'll get you the details on that because I think you'd be a perfect fit for it. You're exactly at the place where we pick up with that.
That sounds great, Dean.
Okay. Well, I sure enjoyed it, and I will look forward to working further with you on this.
Same here. Thank you so much for your time. And again, you're a genius. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
And there we have it. Another great More Cheese, Less Whiskers episode. And, you get to see, I hope that you found yourself in that situation. If you've got leads that you've already been able to generate, and you've got a mechanism that is like a vending machine where you can put money in and leads come out, the only thing that makes sense to do right now is to focus on converting those leads into people that you can actually help. And when I say converting those leads, with the same caveat that I gave Bill in the conversation, it's nothing that you're going to convince people to do. You're going to discover who the 5-star prospects are and make it super easy for them to get started. And I think that you're going to have a really great lifetime learning experience of moving leads from, hey, I'd like to do something, into working together with you. That's really the skill of any of it. Generating leads is sort of a science, and there's lots of ways to, you can pretty much automate the whole process of getting people to raise their hand. But the art of converting these leads, of identifying who the 5-star prospects are, engaging with them in a way that helps them come to their own conclusion that you're the only logical person to help them, not beating them into submission or beating them into thinking that that you are the only one that can help them, but to let them come to that conclusion by really communicating with them and offering the most logical next steps for them and packaging it in a way that makes it super easy for them to take those next steps. And so if you enjoyed this episode and you're in a situation like that where focusing on engagement with your leads, engagement with by email with the people that you already have, you might be a perfect candidate for our email mastery case study program. And if you think you might be, send me an email and just dean@deanjackson.com and put email mastery in the subject line. And I'll send you an invitation for our email mastery case study program. I'm starting about one group every 6 weeks or so, and we're having some incredible results with that. So send me an email, dean@deanjackson.com, email mastery in the subject line, and I'll get you all the details of how we can work together on your email mastery.